Hey there, welcome to Lady Cadence Island. Today we're going to do a really big 6 island tour to show you where all of my islands are at as of May 2025. I've been seeing a lot of recent, this time last year, photos on Facebook that I posted from a year ago because I started my YouTube channel in April of 2025, and it's amazing to see the difference that a year makes playing this game. So let's get started with Orchid Island. I still have my pretty purple flowers from last month here, my Orchid Island sign from last July, and then this cute little mom, dad, and little girl. I think that was a Mother's Day gift we got last year, decoration. And then, of course, going up into my steps, I have made use of lots and lots of gift bushes, which I love. And in order to do that, I am making use of some higher flower count fences, the flags in between those, found a way to highlight those here at the front. And then, most importantly, these planters. Now, the hummingbird ones, of course, are 110 flowers a piece. These other flower planters from the Louisiana set are 50 flowers a piece, so that does help a lot to keep my flower count up using those planters. Now, I also got the tulip path. I'm still so disappointed that they don't connect to regular roads, and they gave me the dumb auto response saying, they'd have to make more graphics. Like, no, you don't, because you already have this side graphic created here. Just stick it there. It should just automatically become that. But whatever. Anyway, hopefully one day they'll fix it. We'll see. I probably shouldn't hold my breath that they will fix it. Now, you can make it work with the flower pathway that's in your permanent shop. So that helps with vertically aligning two paths. However, it just does not do it horizontally, unfortunately. So lots of beautiful, again, gift bushes. It's a new arrangement because of the different gift bushes from this month. I also updated these fountains in the front to boost up the flower count as well. I've been getting a lot of these planters just to help me boost my flower count. And I showed a picture of what they used to be recently on Facebook to show the difference in flower count for these. Because it used to be just the soiree flowers and the red and white flower, or the yellow ones surrounding it. And those, of course, are only 1 flower a piece versus these, which are 110 for each of the hummingbird ones and then 30 for those other planters. Also have gotten a cute little sweep the board decoration there. I added in to make it look like the water flows just down through this whole section. So that's new. And I've also added a lot of these plants, little flowering pathways from the Botanical Bliss set. I love these. I've got one there, and then 3, 4, all right in this section here. Plus I've got more over on this other side as well. 5, and then I think I had one tucked over here somewhere. But anyway, those are some of the big changes. This is relatively the same, my big estate kind of resort area. If you haven't seen videos before, I do like to combine buildings to make it look different. So that's the bakery behind the summer house. And at those levels, they look like it's just an elongated building there. So that works really well. I always like to put my bathhouse with more of the canal water, which makes it look like a bigger pool area. It works well with the lavish lounge. The mansion over here works well with this side of the estate because it looks like kind of a connecting hallway there in the back. So these all just connect to make one giant resort area. And then I've got that walled off with the studio walls and the little square here in the back with lots and lots of flowers because this is the springtime look. Now, another big change, this part is the same here, of course. All the tea room areas and the little shops, all cute. Little swing that's highlighted here. This part back here is different because I did move my vineyard down to the back of the bottom part of Orchid here. Got a playground in the back there. It's kind of fenced off. But then we've got the vineyard, the wine tasting, all the plants going on here, a little table for people to eat and have a picnic while they do their wine tasting. Plus we've got this little corner guy. He's been here already. I did move the shed down. We've got some planting going on. And then I also moved these stairways and the wall, this whole section with the fireplace down here with this section. I just think it fits better. And I had to do that to make more space back here for all of my Botanical Bliss items. Not all, I should say part. Its own unique style. Now I still have my greenhouses back here. I've got 4 of them. And I wanted to make a big feature out of these greenhouses, a big symmetrical design. I've got the trellis pathway going in here, and remember, if you connect it on all 4 sides of the path, you get this pretty little dome which matches the orangery dome and the greenhouse style look as well. We've got Botanical Bliss clocks on either side here, more flowers. This part's the same. I just like that little couple on the grass right beside that cute little gazebo type thing there, the bird watchers. Those are cute together. And then we've got our fountain back here, the hanging gardens, because it's got those beautiful purple flowers. It matches so nicely with the purple trees, all the tulips, and especially these marble statues. Those just work so nicely with the fountain. The lions work well on the other side. Those are all marvelous, or not marvelous items, but from the Botanical Bliss set. Of course, these tulips, the fields by themselves, plus the tulip pathways. Again, from this month's set. I really love them. I did a couple water features on either side. This pretty fountain. That's actually from the February set. Not this year's, but a previous one. They had it for a challenge. And then we've got some more water features down here. And again, we're trying to give the impression that this water flows all the way down to the pond and into the bottom of this bridge here. This bridge also is a great one to get because it's got a high flower count. So you've got 2 bridge options in your permanent shop. This is the higher one. Always good to switch that out if you're able to. Move this water feature to the back. Got the cute little girl walking her dogs as I sweep the board. Gift, or prize rather. The little lady watering the flowers. So many cute little things up here. Tons of flowers. I just love flowers so much in real life. So these are just perfect for my Orchid Island Eternal Spring look. We got the greenhouses moved back here instead of where they were on the island before. So I love these pathways up through there. Really, really beautiful. Now I have seen other people doubling up this pathway because if you do it at the right spot, then it looks like the couple is holding hands, which is super cute. I didn't have space to do that here, but it still works the way it is. Got our flower shop. I did put that down several levels just so you can see it's more of a flower shop look rather than just all the vines on it. And I do have this marvelous item from the Alpine set here still because it's just cute. It flows into that dirt path, so I feel like it works well there and you can get away with it. So that is my Botanical Bliss section of Orchid Island. Now my main one, of course, is on Willow, and I will show you that throughout the main other island tours. Got my gazebos up here, and then this back part is the same. I did add in that cute little guy running away from the goose. Now that was from Secrets last time. Love this area, it's just fun. All up through the water here. This part is all the same as it was previously. Stilt house and the boathouse there. Love all the extra little water features that I've been able to kind of collect through the past year and a half. This little guy is always going to stay there because that boat is big. It's too big for water in the island, so it looks like it's going out into the channel there, or through the channel. Makes more sense. And it also looks like that little kid fishing just whipped that fish around and knocked the guy over, which I just find funny. So it's just a funny combination. Got a cow coming through the path here. Love the gazebo on the water. We've got the Talbot house by the windmill. I just think the Talbot house and this windmill at that level just work so nicely together. They look like they belong together. And especially how the pathways just can kind of flow in that stair-step look. Got some gift bushes surrounding the gazebo. The flowery arch there over that bench, that works well with the gazebo too. Plus it has the stone base, so that all works. And then the stone pathway from the February set works really pretty here too, really well. Got another little picnic table going on, kids playing, lots and lots of flowers. Love the croquet game going on. Have a swing from last year's wedding set. Little wishing well, picnic. Lots and lots of flowers. This is a couple on their horse here, but I just love that pink flowering tree that goes with it, so that works well. Even have the lady with her puppy field. All of that. So that stone pathway leads you through this little arched gate that just works nicely, and it makes a nice divide for the little kind of town section. Now I do have my amphitheater hidden behind this house as well, and I've used these two large trees because they hide it really well, so only a teeny part of that is showing, and that works well, I think. And we've got our little town section here, so all of our little shops and some dining, the market is here, library, all of those things, again making use of the tulip path. This works okay because, like I said, you can connect that floral pathway from the permanent shop, and that works to connect them vertically. Have a little playground area over here for the kiddos right in the center of all this section. I have turned my stables into more of a dining area because I'm using it at that silver topped level, and by covering up the horses at the base here, you only see it looks like a dining or a little table and chairs, so it looks like it could be a restaurant or something like that instead, because I don't really have room for lots of animals and things now. And then we've got our little hospital and the firehouse with the fire truck. Important things. Again, we've got our orchid station, only it's more of a kind of like a pavilion. I like to call it a tourist info center right there. I have used these walls here, took them from another island, and I placed them here just to boost up the flower and to kind of separate this section out, and also so I can use those planters. I think they work well with that. And then our cinema jazz club, all that entertainment center right there. And then, of course, our little townhomes for where people live, the cute tree houses, and that fun summery area back here. So that is my Orchid Island. Not too many changes for the back, although I do have some additions from Secrets. Decorations there. And then, of course, this front part changed a lot so that I could make space for this back, which is totally different with the Botanical Bliss item. So that is Orchid Island as of May 2025. So let's check out some of the other islands. So let's start with Marigold Island. Now I've had the entryway here, this little baby part of the island, done for a while. I love the cute little bears, the little lookout. Got a picnic area here, and the people are walking down towards the dock here. So that's been kind of that way for a while. The rest has been storage for the most part. Now, you have seen my train station here when I go back and forth between designing it and keeping it as a storage island. So I have it designed again, of course, with my little train tracks here. Now, I did switch out and put the little honeycomb cellars here because we've got the truck and the hives, and it all just seems to go together really well, and it goes nicely with this tree. And then the tall grass right there, plus the little wheelbarrow of pumpkins. It just looks pretty to me there, so I like that. They're selling that right at the station. You can buy your local fresh honey, and then you've got your path going up here. We've got the guy selling magazines and tourist attraction type things right by the station. You can also get your tickets, and they're waiting at the platform for the train there. Again, this is similar to what I had before. I did switch out the buildings and put some of these buildings in the front. These are the Halloween ones, connecting with the Venice set buildings. Now, I like to incorporate these because they're all the similar colors and tones, so they just seem to go together. I still have my wall around here, and remember, this is a very high flower count wall. I will probably get more of those to go around, and I do like to alternate between the stone path and the brick path, and just to give some variety. I also showed you before how not only do I have a high flower count wall, but I also have high flower count kind of plants surrounding it. So it's not just the grass there to give it a more of a boost in flower count. I've got a double archway here just because The single doesn't really flow well into this. It looks more balanced since I have the statue with the flowers around it that has a double section there. It just looks more balanced to have both archways there as well as on the sides. Give it a symmetrical look. I do have this wall as well, which is 30 flowers each. The fence is 40 a piece, so that helps. Plus it just finishes off that tile nicely. So I've got all of that there. This is going to lead up into the fairground section eventually. So we got all the pumpkin items over here that just seem to go together. Once I get the space cleared, we're going to make that lead into the whole fairground. So that will work nicely there. But for now, we've got just this big kind of buildings here, kind of like you would have a big resort area maybe, with also some shops and dining and things like that. So that's what that part of the island is. Now on this side of the island, I've changed it up a little bit. I did have a water feature here. Now instead I've got the winery kind of going on. We do have a little clinic here as well. But we've got the vineyard, plants, and sunflower patch here. Just more kind of like a orchard. You know, you've got all your planting type things. I did connect this bridge here. I hid it behind the mountain and stuff, so it looks just more like a tunnel, like it's connecting that tunnel there. And then the train goes through. I put my playground back behind this resort area, kind of, and then just lots of the grasses there, just to kind of separate that out. We've got the police car kind of stakeout going on back there too. And then that leads you up into this section. We've got our hot air balloon rides, a little pie place. So this is kind of part of the fairground idea too, these elements. I won't probably keep that. That's for animals. I'm going to move that when I have more space to make this work. Now I moved my water feature to the back because I felt like the waterfall flowed better from the top part of this island down, and so it just works better. Got our boathouse here. These are kind of like little hotel Airbnb type places you can come and vacation. More simple and not a big resort area or feel to it. I'm pretending that the train tracks run behind these trees here and then up through here. Now this is all stacked in here, of course, right by the mist, so ignore that part. So basically the design ends right there with a bridge, and you've got your trick-or-treaters kind of all going through, because I'm going to have a Halloween section and the fairground section over on this part of the island. I only have 3 more scenes to complete in order to empty that space out, and then we've got a little bit left on this island. So I have made really good progress on this island. It just has taken a long time though. So, but this is the main part. I do like this design for this island. We're going to keep it with the oranges and golds and warm tones because it is a very fall inspired island. So that is Marigold right now. Moving on to Snowdrop Island. Now Snowdrop is not complete in the sense I still need 1 more year really to fill it in all the way. I have this right now as my transition from grass into the snowy section. We've got the little German house, the pine trees here. They have butterflies on them, but I don't care. We're going to make it work. I like the wrought iron fence because the white flowers actually look like snow is at the base. Got a little snow patch there. So it's almost like the Halloween where you're up north and you can have your first snow at that point. And then it kind of fades into the snowy section of the island and to the main town part. It's like Christmas town here. So we've got all of those elements. I do have a couple things hidden in here, like that Japanese pagoda actually is right behind there. You can see the roof of it. But, you know, we're going to make it work right there. And, of course, all of our cobblestone is worth a lot more, which is nice. I didn't have enough of it, so I have these guys look like they're shoveling right now, and they haven't gotten to that section, so they're hard at work making pathways here. But this is what I have so far. I do have a little pathway here to that archway that's got flowers, but, you know, it kind of gives me a Christmas vibe, so I hid it behind there for now. And then, of course, our water going up here. Now, right behind this tree here is that one with the deer, but the deer is so massive. He's more like a moose, or bigger than a moose. So anyway, I've hidden him behind the tree because he's just too big compared to the ice skaters and all these kids playing. So we've got some of that. I did not put regular snow in yet. I'm going to wait until next winter when I have more decorations, and then I will rearrange things a little bit. But this is a completed island for now that looks cute, and it does have a whole theme and a style and everything. And I like it. I really do like this a lot. Now, I'm going to tell you the trick I'm going to do now, because I do still need this for storage. And as you can see, it is fairly empty. You know, this looks nice if you had just the snow tiles, but it's not Christmas right now, and I do need to make use of space. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cram everything down into one section, and then put my high flower count items for Magnolia that I'm saving, which would be the wedding set items, some of those springy decor items that I purposely got extra of because I want to put them on Magnolia Island. So that's my plan ahead method, and I do want to keep space opening up. So I am going to, now that you've seen what this island looks like decorated nicely, I'm going to pack it all back in again, and then I will have space that way to put my India set items, the high flower count ones, as well as those springy items, so that I can still be making progress and busting open Marigold. Still got a ways to go on Marigold before I can get to Magnolia. So, but I do want you to see this is what it would look like decorated if I just put snow tiles in the rest of the space. I'm not going to waste time doing that right now, though. It still is pretty, and I hope that gives you some ideas what you can do with your Snowdrop Island. So I'm going to pack it in tight and get my flower count back to where it needs to be. And then I will show you Willow Island real quickly. This is what it looks like all packed in. I did keep the front as I want it, just so I don't forget, and I keep those actual decorations down here. And then I've just really packed in all of those winter ones. Again, you just saw it looking nice, and I will get more winter decorations I'll add to it next year. But for now, since we're not in snow time, and I really do not care for snow that much, we're going to pack these all in. That way, look at all that space now that I have to put in these high flower count items. That way, I can boost my flower count. And again, a lot of these are going to be moved to Magnolia when I get that island opened up. So you saw it nicely decorated, and you see how I use it for storage in the meantime, so that I can keep opening up space on Marigold. And here is Marigold again. The front is all nicely decorated, really beautiful. You wouldn't know that it is not how it's supposed to be until you get to the back here, where I've packed it all in. But I wanted to show you that you can do both, use it for storage and decorating, as long as you decorate along the way, so you know what you're wanting to shoot for and aim for, and then you can get the decorations that you want for it. And then meanwhile, store things while you wait. Now I only have just one more scene to open up, and I'll get that little last square there before we go on to this section. So I am making good progress, but the only way I can make that progress is by doing this, stacking things in. Now again, remember, these are all things that we'll be decorating, or I will be decorating with on this part. So this section of the island is going to be my carnival section, all spread out nicely. So all these things that are currently packed in tightly up here, and then all up in this side, are going to be spread out nicely in this section once I get that opened up. Moving on to Willow. Now this is this month's set. I really love it. Willow Island is perfect for tropical theme decorations because it's got all of these palm trees and the beach, and even you'll notice up here it's very swampy. You've got alligators, these birds here, and the florals that are on there. Like, so it's a very tropical island. You really have a hard time getting away with other designs on this island. So the Botanical Bliss, which is a tropical theme, works super well. So I've got my ticket booth from last year here for people who want to go in and explore the gardens, little pathway leading you up to that, and the little kind of info area. You know how they always make you go through the little gift shop at the end before you leave to try to get money out of you. So that's kind of what that is, but it's cute. So we've got lots of birds here, lots of beautiful flowers, and then our pathways leading you all through this little garden tour. There's even a bench here where you can sit if you need a break, the treetop pathway for kiddos who want to climb. So lots of fun. Little pavilion here that was from last year's set as well. The treetop pathway was from last year as well, but they're available this year too. I didn't get any more this year because I'd already gotten plenty. Love this greenhouse. This was an additional one. I have 2 of these now. They were from Sweep the Board, I believe, so that was a fun addition. The pond is from last year. I got a second one this year because they made them available again. I love repeated sets because I can get things I wasn't able to get more of from the previous year. Plus, it just adds to the design. So this is the completion prize from this year. I love it too. I think it's so pretty. And then I'm making use of another one of these little gates, little stone wall gates, to lead you into the next section of the island. Now, this part I really love too. These ponds are from the India set. Now, one of them I purchased from last year's India set. The other one that I have, which I'm super glad I have 2 now to balance this out, was from a prize too. I forget what challenge it was from. Lots of these paths I have connecting up here. I love those. Again, the tulip paths. And then I've got my 2 greenhouses connecting the completion prize from last year's set. I love this little pool too. Again, another prize, one from a challenge, but it just works so nicely with last year's completion prize, surrounded by the tulip pathway. Really love that. I like these new planters from this year set. They're super pretty. That fun little 2 chairs with the lights, that was also a little reward for something. It just works really nicely with a tropical theme. Love that as well. Now you have to notice, to make it symmetrical with the greenhouses, you do have to be a little bit clever with that because of how the doors and the pathways fall. It's on the left-hand side. Now, if it was on the right-hand side of this and the left of that, it would be easier to manage, but it's not. So you notice I have this greenhouse right up against the building, whereas this one I've got the little dividing annex in between. That way I've got it ends up being the same amount of space, 2 squares over on each side from the pathway. So that's just kind of a trick to make it symmetrical. I've got another annex on this side and then my little baby one on this side so that it still gives the idea of symmetry there. Then I love my little pathways back here. This cute little girl who's reading her book on her hammock. We got a mother and daughter reading. Just lots of fun things to do back here. Lots of water features, a couple of grottos spaced out with other water features, and I love that a lot of these are animated. It just makes it so much more fun and beautiful. Love my fountain from the Marvelous item. I've got 3 of those, I believe, that I'm using, then the rest I sell for coins. Love this decoration. I did break down and buy this. It came with some other goodies as well, but it was just so pretty. That was my Mother's Day gift to myself, was to get that. I love it. So pretty. And then a little section. You got to be clever with some of these little sections because there's not much space to work with. So I use my other pond here and the pathways which connect nicely to the pond. And then another little building up here. It's kind of like the end of the tour. A little shop as well. And I just thought the llama was cute and he just works right in here as well. Now down here I've done something different. I actually put the decorations from the 7th anniversary down here, some of these party New Year decorations, because it just makes it like a fun event space. I've kind of separated it out with the palm trees, so they're like my little edging, and then that black and white checkered grass there to go because that it matches with these decorations. My little peacocks, they're very tropical, so they just work there. And I put my fencing around them. This little Japanese pond is pretty. And then again, I've got another Botanical Bliss. Those little corner pathways, they're so beautiful with the flowers. They are so great to tuck in lots of places. I probably have like 20 of them just kind of popped in here and there. They really make a nice touch. And they're 80 flowers for a single square, which is nice. The other ones that I've tried to get a lot of and I've actually hidden around a lot of different places are these hummingbird ones. You can just barely see the flowers poking out there behind that tree because they're worth 110 each, which again are great for single square items. So I do like to use those, as you could see, in my edging of things just to boost up my flower count, plus they're pretty. So that's Botanical Bliss for this year. You could see it on Orchid and then here on Willow. My beautiful Botanical Bliss set, and I love Willow now. It's got its nice tropical feel. I used to have India set on here, and that was really pretty as well. I also did a little Japanese corner over here previously, so you can look at other videos to get ideas and inspiration if you want to go that route. Okay, moving on to Laurel Island. Now, I've shown you this lots of times. We use this one, me. I'm the only one who does this. I use this on Laurel for Germany, the German set, which is super cute, little fairy tale going on. And we've got our nice little playground here to boost up the flower count, picnic table, the nice tree with a birdhouse in it. All this German stuff. I did previously have my Halloween completion prize house here too because it worked well. I do still have some of these trees of frightening foliage from the Halloween set. Got my wishing well and the little pathway with this guy with his water. So lots of fun little decorations here. And then this pathway leads you back into the Alpine set, which I really love the Alpine set so much. Again, another fun sweep the board prize. I don't remember if it was an Orchid Society sweep the board or a regular one, but really love that. And it connects with the dirt paths all throughout here. Another grotto. Those are high flower count, plus they're animated and beautiful, so I love the grottos. Little guy doing woodworking here outside of his little shop and his mill there. Love the tall flowering grasses and the shaggy cows and the horses. This little path just winds around nicely to this little goat shack here, which is super adorable. And my trees, those were from the German set maybe? I can't remember. It's been a while. Love the Mountain Majesties. Those are so beautiful. Now, a lot of this part up here was from last year's Alpine set with a few new things tucked in this year. So cute. Like these little goats playing on the hay bales. Oh, they're so adorable. Love them. And if you'll remember, I told you I use a lot of the girl harvesting the grass hidden behind things because she's worth 200 flowers. For a single square item, that is amazing. So I got a lot of her, and I've hidden her around several different islands behind buildings to boost my flower count. Little guy's yodeling up there. Again, all this was previously from last year, and then things I've gotten throughout the year, not from this year. Flowering tree from February set. Some more Mountain Majesty. And I love how this little goats on these rocks go perfectly with the Mountain Majesty decoration right beside it. Lots of goats and sheep over here. A lot of herding going on. And then, of course, again, my German town. So that's Laurel Island. I love my little Alpine set on Laurel. Again, we go based on the style of the island itself. It's got all these fir trees. It just looks very Alpine-like. So Alpine set fits perfectly with this particular theme on Laurel Island already. All right, last up, Sunflower Island. Now, Sunflower, if you'll remember, I used this for Mexico and the Louisiana set, along with a little bit of the Venice set. So I've got the cute little stand here in the middle of where the canal is there, that little center area square. And it works so nicely with a fresh market. And then she's selling lemons, or a lemonade stand almost, it looks like. That's from the Venice set, as well as the Boy and the Pigeons. So that all just works nicely, these little lemon trees. It works so nicely with the other decorations for Louisiana and Mexico. Same with this. We've got this little fresh market here. It's got the cute little, what do you call that? The awning, and then the other little girl here with a little umbrella stand. That just works so well with this building, which is from Louisiana set, because you notice the awning on the side of that building. It looks like they go together. Same yellow paint on the walls. So they match really nicely. Love the planters. The jazz club goes well with the whole New Orleans kind of theme, and that ties in really nicely with that completion prize there. We've got this cute little bridge over the water. That was a really fun prize. I can't remember if that was secrets or sweep the board. And then we've got a little pizzeria here. Again, you've got the yellow with that little awning. So that all kind of goes with the same theme and look. Notice the Botanical Bliss hummingbird flowers. These make really nice edging. The other one that's great is this Venice flowers that are on the tile base. that flowering tree, those again are worth a great flower count. So they're beautiful, but they also boost the flower count. I've also got these botanical blocks. They were marvelous clocks, rather, not blocks. They were marvelous items from last year's Botanical Bliss set, which I loved and got lots of those. And then, of course, we've got Mexico buildings back here all together, like a big hacienda resort kind of area here. My gazebos, I do love to combine the gazebo with the little tower here at an angle. They just work nicely with their roofs. And then this little porch swing, I feel like, or swing works nicely with that as well. And then again, another grotto. Love this. Love my little lake back here. Lots of fun things to do. Now I'm trying to figure out where to put my new set for June coming up, because that is going to be the East Africa set. Super adorable, kind of like a safari theme. However, it doesn't really match anything, so I may have to take off things from this island. This is a neutral kind of island. I feel like I get away with putting it here and then trying to store some of these islands or the high flower count buildings on another island temporarily. We will see what I end up doing. I'm not 100% sure, but there is Sunflower Island for now, which I love in its full design. So there we are, back on Orchid, and you can see that you can design all your islands. You don't have to use them for storage only. Now you do need to temporarily store things on your islands in order to move forward, but I have just shown you how you can do that as well and still continue to move forward in the game while having an ultimate design plan for each island as you go. So hopefully that's helpful to you and give you some inspiration for your own island. As far as combining buildings and decorations, hiding high flower count decorations, making use of those high flower count ones, while also still making some pretty designs. So that is it. This is mid-May 2025, and what a difference from last year, just because I've gotten so many more decorations between seasonal sets and challenge rewards. I always play things like secrets. I'm on a team now that we always complete Club Mysteries as well, so we're getting decorations from those. I always do sweep the board, so get those, and then I usually go for the Fairground Fortune and Detectives Needed decorations as well. So that's how you get so many decorations. And even if they're repeats, they can be spread across different islands, and I still find them to be really nice and to help not only with flower count, but just to make your island fun and beautiful. Just like most of these decorations here were challenge rewards. So keep on playing, enjoy it. Don't race through, just enjoy your time. This is after playing for a year and a half, so it makes a huge difference if you've just started. You'll get there. Keep at it and enjoy the process. All right, thanks so much for watching.